importantly, all around Atlanta. Show some love for Mr. Josh Kaufman.
What's up, guys? I used to be gay. And I'm not gay anymore, not because like my parents didn't love me or the way society views it. I'm not gay anymore, it's because like guys are a lot harder to beat up. I have a girlfriend now, which is a lot different, and it's kind of cool. Because like if I have a bad day at work, or I'm like, something's not going right, I can just go home and like, talk to her and express myself, and just really just beat the shit out of her. I've been having a lot of sex with my girlfriend though, like a lot of sex lately. It's getting to the point now where it's like she's starting to wake up. Like I was saying before, I used to be gay, and like the hardest part about being gay is coming out, and it's like. And the hardest part is coming out, and definitely like the worst people to come out to, it's like a big step in your life is your parents, and definitely the hardest part about coming out to your parents is deciding what to wear. This is actually probably the only true thing I'll say all night. I was in Marshall's the other day, and I needed to buy some dress pants for work, and I saw these two huge black guys, and I'm like, well, this is Atlanta, so they're probably famous, but I don't have time for that. So I get the pants, and I continue to go check out, and then I see like 8 more black guys, and I'm like, okay, somebody's famous. Do a little investigating, and as I'm wandering through the line, I see a guy, and I'm like, you know what? I think that's Floyd Mayweather. And like the reason I know it was Floyd Mayweather is because when he turned around, he was wearing a bedazzled shirt of himself. It doesn't end there. So the cashier says to him, "Are you some kind of basketball player or rapper?" And fucking Floyd Mayweather loses it. And he's like, "Why we gotta be basketball players? Why we gotta be rappers? Why can't I be a doctor? Why can't he be a lawyer?" And I'm like, he's got a point, but he's kind of acting like a fucking rapper right now. So he keeps, jawing off with this lady, and then these ladies behind me go, "Hey, is one of those guys famous?" And I go, "You see that guy in the black shirt? He's probably the best boxer in the world." She's like, "Oh my God, awesome." And then while that happens, this dorky white manager comes over to alleviate the situation, and right as he gets there and he's about to speak, Floyd Mayweather goes, "Man, why don't you ask him if he's a basketball player? Why don't you ask him if he's a rapper? Man, fuck y'all racist." And he's leaving. Same time, the girl in front of me pulls out her cell phone and she goes, "Hey girl, you remember that show Chili Trying to Get a Man? Yeah. Remember that boxer she was trying to date? Floyd Mayweather? Yeah. Well, he's up in Marshall's acting like a straight up asshole." That's pretty much where it ends, but that was a pretty awesome story. I've been watching this show, I Shouldn't Be Alive, a lot lately. Has anybody seen that show? Yeah. Awesome. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I Shouldn't Be Alive is like this crazy show where people get lost in the middle of like the Amazon jungle or like the fucking Mojave Desert or places they have no business being, right? And I always wonder, like how would I survive if I was like in the middle of Antarctica and no one around for, miles? What am I gonna do to, escape? And I figured it out. I would pull out my cell phone and I would start texting other girls, and then my girlfriend would find me immediately. I saw an episode last night, and it took place on Mount Everest. And it was pretty crazy because it was this group of climbers, and then they had some Sherpas, and then they climbed up to the top of Mount Everest. They get there, and then due to lack of oxygen, one of the guys actually passes out and goes into like a mini coma. And then, so they think he's dead, and they're like, "Well, fuck him, he's dead. We're not gonna bring him down the mountain. We'll just take his personal belongings and shit, and then we'll give him to his family." So that's what they do. They steal like his face mask, his gloves, and just all his shit. and then start descending back to base camp. Well, in the meanwhile, a couple hours later, this guy wakes up and is like on the top of Mount Everest and doesn't know what to do and whatever. So they go back to base camp and they call his wife and they go, "Hey, lady, look, your husband, he's dead." And it gets like pretty like serious in the episode. And then the next day, these other group of climbers finds this guy and then brings him down. And then I was thinking, you know, can you imagine making that call to that lady and saying like, "Look, lady, your husband, he's fucking dead." And then I was like, wow, if that was a job, I would be pretty awesome at it. I would have just walked in the lady's work the next day and I would be like, "Excuse me, everybody, can we gather around? Can we gather around?" Awesome, awesome. All right. Everybody who's married, please put your hands up. Actually, Karen, can you put your hand down? Your husband died yesterday. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you.
Guys, show some love for Josh Kaufman. And while we're at it, you guys, and he's probably going to kill me for saying this, the guy who takes the pictures for open mic, if you are a friend or fan or what the fuck ever of the Laughing Skull Lounge, his name is Jamie McDaniel. It's JME Photography. On Facebook, his name is Cujo Manpants. It's this guy right over here. He's a brilliant photographer, and if you guys, comedians, if you need headshots or have questions, he's the guy to go to. He's a dear friend of mine, and I just want to recognize him for all of his great work. So.